Hello and welcome to another episode of Erongo Talk. I'm your host, Irene-Mari van der Walt, joining you today from the Swakopmund Museum. Today we celebrate Aviation Day and we chat with Ryaan Matsi, the head coach for the Namib Daughter soccer team, about the upcoming Skorpion Zinc Women's Soccer League. So stay tuned, we'll be right back after this. In the first story for today's news, we are telling you about a false prophet and a story of fraud. So a so-called prophet from Walvis Bay and his accomplice are currently locked up after they allegedly defrauded 5 unsuspecting women of an estimated 800,000 Namibian dollars between August and September last year. Both the accused appeared in the magistrate's court last week, and their case was postponed to the 27th of October this year for further investigations. No bail has been granted, with their bail hearing set for the 19th of August. And a victim who chose to remain anonymous spoke to Erongo 24/7 and shared her story with these 2 false prophets after she invested with the so-called prophet and lost close to 100,000 Namibian dollars. She says, "I was introduced to the prophet by a family friend. I didn't belong to a church at the time. The moment we met, he started talking business, telling me that he had a company where I could buy shares and make my investment back within a few weeks." According to the victim, she was part of a group of 6 women who met on a daily basis with the prophet and his accomplice. We would converse, pray together and talk about the business. We would be asked to provide money for plane tickets for the shareholders to Congo and other countries for them to check on the business. We happily obliged because we were promised a return on our investment, and he was a man of God, so we trusted him. I trusted him, she said. At times, the victim would also lend her car to the prophet to do what she believed to be God's work. None of the victims signed any documentations about their so-called investment or received any proof that they were, in fact, shareholders of the alleged company. Each time the ladies approached the prophet about the investment, he would come up with an excuse saying that what was due to them was soon coming. A couple months later, I realized that nothing will come of this investment, and I approached my lawyer for advice. By this time, I had already lost 100,000 Namibian dollars. I withdrew this money from my savings, thinking it would be a good opportunity for me to invest, the victim said. The prophet apparently charged persons about 500 Namibian dollars for a one-on-one consultation session for prayer. I attended his church services once or twice. Thinking back, something always felt off. The people around me would faint due to him praying passionately. I would just stare and think, why don't I feel the same? But I learned an extremely valuable lesson. My heart goes out to the other woman he schemed, his victim said. Community Affairs Commander Inspector Eleni Shapumba, encouraged others who have been schemed by dubious means or through false prophets to please step forward and contact the police so that legal action can be taken. As soon as cases are reported, we will start investigating. If you do not report it, you are encouraging these prophets, people who have just found another way to steal from people. Prophets are not lawyers or spokespersons to speak on behalf of the people to God. Prophets should stop confusing the public, said Shapumba. The police are also involved in a investigation of culpable homicide after a accident on the B2 road. So they are investigating culpable homicide, reckless and negligent driving, following a collision that involved the courtesy vehicle of the governor of the Erongo region. Nampol's Regional Crime Investigations Coordinator, Deputy Commissioner Erastus Ikuyu, confirmed that the accident took place a kilometer outside Walvis Bay on Monday evening. It appears that the 26-year-old driver of a white Mercedes-Benz with a private registration number plate was attempting to overtake another vehicle. The Mercedes-Benz was traveling from Swakopmund towards Walvis Bay. The driver overtook a white Toyota Hilux pickup, and in the process, the latter collided with a Mercedes-Benz, which is regularly used for official trips by Erongo Governor Neville Andre. The governor's courtesy vehicle was driven by a 51-year-old man who was alone in the vehicle at the time, said Ikuyu. After the Toyota Hilux pickup collided with the governor's official vehicle, the driver of the pickup lost control of his vehicle, veered off the road and rolled several times. The owner of the Toyota Hilux pickup, who died in the Walvis, who was also a passenger. He died in the Walvis Bay State Hospital after succumbing to injuries he sustained in the accident. Now, the 40-year-old passenger sustained chest and head injuries, but is luckily reportedly in stable condition. The driver of the white Mercedes-Benz also sustained injuries and received treatment at the Swakopmund State Hospital. So our hearts and minds go out to the victims here and to those who are recovering from injuries. Please stay safe. Please take care of yourself. Our hearts and our prayers go out to you as well in your journey on recovery. Then Arandis residents, a group of residents who call themselves the Arandis Concerned Community Group, held a demonstration last week to voice their concerns and handed over a petition to the Arandis Town Council. The group's spokesperson said that they do not agree with the rationale for COVID-19 testing results from Arandis to be counted with the numbers recorded in Swakopmund, as Arandis is a local authority on its own. We are not happy that our town is being overlooked, and they said. Even the recent national high-level delegation consisting of deputy ministers did not visit Arandis to see the setup, and yet an ongoing lockdown has been imposed. Who is there to engage us as a community about the COVID-19 matters from council's side, they asked. Arandis has been placed under strict lockdown regulations with other areas in the Erongo region, namely the Walvis Bay and Swakopmund local authority areas, and in stage 3 when the rest of the country reverted to stage 4 in the state of emergency, in spite of the fact that no COVID-19 cases had been reported before the demonstration. They also complained about the lack of development in Arandis. There's nothing coming forth with regards to the construction of houses. We as a community want houses built. How many houses did council build in the past 30 years apart from the Rossing houses? How much service land was allocated and when? We want answers. Recently, we had a few fire outbreaks. Walls and structures of houses have collapsed. All this is evidently caused by the defects of homes that are more than 30 years old, they said. And that concludes your news for today.
With me here is the head coach of Namib Daughter's ladies football team, Ryaan Matsi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. So we have been informed that the Skorpion Zinc Super League is about to commence in October. As a head coach of Namib Daughters, how have you been preparing for this specific league?
Thank you for your question. We are preparing and we stopped again because now there is COVID-19. We have nothing to do. We are still waiting for the president to inform when the contact sport starting preparing again for the league. Right. Actually, now we are not preparing. We are out of contact sport for now until further notice.
Yes. Of course, the Erongo region that including Swakopmund, Walvis Bay, as well as Arandis are the towns that have really been hit hard in terms of regulations by COVID-19. But how else has Namib Daughters Football Club been affected by COVID-19?
Yeah, the club is affected a lot. Especially now we were preparing for the leagues to start in March, and then we have cut off shortly noticed, and you know that is affecting the players. As now we've been for the whole year since last year May up to now we did not have football, and the players are frustrating themselves. They want to play. They heard the other towns were playing except Swakop and Walvis and Arandis, and that's a big challenge that we have in our region. Actually, that's the thing that we have. They need to be calm and to wait for the notice from the president.
Well, your team did very well under the late Irene-Mari and yourself, finishing 5th last season, which was a very good achievement considering that there are teams who really were pulling up their weight. Teams like Nampol as well as Tura Magic Ladies. So, your players are scattered all over the place as well. Some are in Okahanja, some are in Windhoek. Are these also like challenges that you guys also get as a player, like keep holding on to your players, your top players?
Yes, that's a big challenge because our players are scattered around. Say some of in Okahanja, in Marintal, in Kietmaswop, one in Ochuarongo, and that's when you have home games. It's very, very difficult to bring them down. So that's why we have few players in Swakop probably 10 players and 3 in Valvis Bay, and that is affecting us very well. So it's why the last time that we have also asked that any assistance that we can get a soccer house in Swakop and accommodate all our players together to make the team strong, because this coming season we really need to pull up our socks at least to finish or to win the league. That will really happen when we have got all the players together.
And what about parents? If parents want to decide, oh no, I want my player to go play for this other team, no, they've offered her this and that amount of money, does that also really prove to be a thorn in the foot for you?
Yes, there is rules that we needed to follow that go to the parents. There is rules that they are set up for the league. It's not us, we cannot hold the player, but the other teams or the parents should also understand how is the rule set up for the player to move from another team from our team to another team. It's not about we are holding players on ourselves. The league have set up rules for the players to move. There is a window transfer. It's the thing that we need to follow. There is players that are calling saying they want to move to other teams, but the window is closed, and they must hold on until the first leg is played, and then they can move for the second leg.
Okay.
Yes.
And at the moment, how many national team players does Namib Daughters have? And in your opinion, how has Namibian women's football progressed over the last few years?
Namib Daughters, in the under 20 we have 4. In the senior team we have only 2. But the football of women football, they have progressed from 2007 up to now. They have done well. They have promoted themselves very well. But we need to put more efforts in women football. We need sponsors. We need people to come on board and to help women football in large.
Okay. And what are your final words in terms of encouragement and also to other people, other ladies, or to ladies out there who play football, as well as the people who love the beautiful game?
Okay, my people out there, please stay at home, stay calm. We know that we will resume soon and start the league soon. Or to all my region in Erongo region, please, my people, let's be calm, let's work together, and let's lift up our region in large for women football. I thank you.
All right, that was Ryaan Matsi, who's the head coach of Namib Daughters Football Club. Thank you for having given your time to us for this interview, and good luck for the future.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Add us on Facebook and search for us on YouTube.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter.
Contact us via WhatsApp. Our daily show starts with the Afrikaans program Soggens met Shaal, perfect for the Afrikaans lovers.
Then it's time for the women's magazine program, The Mid-Morning Breeze with Olivia.
And for the youngsters and game fanatics, join Cody on the 3 to 6 drive. West Coast FM, your host at the coast.
And now for your tides and weather for today. High tide was expected at the coastal towns at about 10 minutes to 3 this morning, and low tide expected again at 10 minutes to 9 this morning. High tide expected again later today at 3:15 this afternoon, and low tide expected at 10 minutes past 9 tonight. Walvis Bay saw sunrise at 24 minutes past 7, expect sunset at 47 minutes past 6 tonight, a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius with a southerly wind prevailing, and for tomorrow in Walvis Bay, a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius. Swakopmund saw sunrise at 24 minutes past 7 this morning and expect sunset at 48 minutes past 6 tonight, a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius with a southerly wind prevailing expected. For tomorrow, minimum of 14 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius. Henty's Bay saw sunrise at 24 minutes past 7 this morning and expect sunset at 49 minutes past 6 tonight, a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius with a south-southeasterly wind prevailing, and for tomorrow, a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Aranda saw sunrise at 22 minutes past 7 this morning and expect sunset at 46 minutes past 6 tonight, a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius with a southeasterly wind prevailing. For tomorrow, a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 28. On to Usakos, they saw sunrise this morning at 19 minutes past 7 and expect sunset at 44 minutes past 6 tonight, a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius with an easterly wind prevailing. And for tomorrow, also a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius in Usakos with a minimum of 8 degrees Celsius. Karibub saw sunrise at 18 minutes past 7 and expect sunset at 43 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 26 degrees Celsius with an easterly wind prevailing. For tomorrow, a minimum of 7 degrees Celsius and again a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Omaruru saw sunrise at 17 minutes past 7 tonight and expect sunset at 43 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 27 degrees Celsius with an southeasterly wind prevailing there. A minimum of 3 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. And that is your tides and weather for today and tomorrow. And that unfortunately brings us to the end of another episode of Erongo Talk. Remember that you can find us online at www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na. You can also find all our stories on our Facebook page, and you can get in touch with us via our Twitter and Instagram pages. Remember that you can also get in touch with us for advertisement opportunities, or give us your news tip-offs or videos or whatever you found that is interesting in your community. You can send that to 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. So until tomorrow when Leandria Lowe joins you, please remember to wear your masks, sanitize your hands, wear your gloves, maintain social distancing, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. The only way that we're going to beat the COVID-19 pandemic is if we work together and we take care of ourselves individually and each other. So until then, please take care of yourselves. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.